Hey everyone, I'm Greg Jones for Engine Builder, and welcome to another episode of Industry Insiders. Today I'm joined by Katie Coleman. She's a cylinder head specialist at LinCo Diesel Performance, and super excited that she's here today. Katie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, I understand that you've been in the industry for a while, and in talking with LinCo Diesel's shop owner, Jeff McCord, sounds like you're a hot commodity down in the St. Louis area. A number of shops have been eager to, get your talents at their own shops, and obviously Jeff is the one that has you right now, and super cool to have somebody with your experience here to get to talk to. And to kick things off, I'd love to know about your background and start there. What initially got you into this industry? What got you interested in cars and working on engines and trucks?
That's very funny to say. I was actually in high school and I needed a job. So my dad actually took me to Creason Race Engines and talked to Joe and was like, hey, my daughter needs a job. She can just sweep floors, take out the trash. And that's what I did for about almost a year. And then the engine builder had quit and Joe had asked me, do you want to start building engines? I was like, oh, okay. So, and I didn't know anything about engines, nothing about tools. I didn't even know how to put an air tool on a air hose. I mean, it was that bad.
Yeah.
And Joe took me underneath his wing and he taught me everything.
That's
well,
awesome.
not,
yeah.
But mostly all gas, dirt track motors, small block Chevys. That's what we specialized at Creason's.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult industry to learn. It takes a lot of years to know everything or be confident in a certain aspect of it and do it all on your own. So that's really cool that, Creason, was a place of mentorship for you and got you involved in it.
Oh, yeah.
So Katie, how long were you there for?
Oh, I would say probably 14 years.
Okay. And did you get to do basically everything from A to Z in the shop, or did you
Oh,
specialize
yeah.
in something?
No, just he started me out with just tearing down motors and then the machine work and then putting motors together.
Yeah.
It was just pretty much everything.
Very good. Now, do you have a certain aspect of engine building that you enjoy the most, or machine work that you enjoy the most?
I just like it all. It's
Yeah.
all fascinating. It's like an art.
Yeah. How about anything that you like the least? Is there a job that now with your all your experience that you'll say, no, I'm not doing that anymore?
Uh, well, right now, I specialize in cylinder heads right now. One thing that I dislike the most is putting in valve uh, valve guide liners.
Mhm.
Got to use the air hammer. Hurts the ears.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit noisy.
Yeah.
Very good. So you spent 14 years at Creason's, and that's primarily the gas world. Any reason for leaving, or for getting into a new shop?
I just wanted something different, and that's where the diesel world came in.
Very
So I'm
good.
still learning a lot at LinCo.
Yeah. Now, like I said at the beginning of our interview, it sounded like in talking to some shops down in St. Louis, a few people were after your experience and trying to get you in the shop. How did you ultimately end up with Jeff at LinCo Diesel?
He actually called me on the phone and wanted me to come work for him, and I was like, "Man, I don't know yet, But he persuaded me, and I took it. So it's definitely different than gas motors. It's a lot different, excuse me, but it's all the same pretty much. But I like it. It's neat.
Yeah. And
Never thought in a million years I'd be working on diesels.
yeah. So how long have you been at LinCo now?
2 years last week.
Okay. Oh, well, congratulations.
Yep.
Very good. So Katie, do you want to talk a little bit about some of that adjustment from gas to diesel and some of what's been different for you? And maybe what you've enjoyed about the diesel side of things?
Yeah, so it's well, the diesel stuff is obviously a lot more greasy,
Mhm.
a lot more just I would say, like the injectors and just random stuff that I wouldn't even known. I never worked on Cummins, Duramax, powerstroke ever. And when I came there, I honestly didn't know which was which.
Mhm.
It's kind of how I was at Creason's, but he now Jeff's teaching me, okay, this is what this is. And, I've used all the machines from, the seat guide machine, the surpser, the boring bar, etc. But it's different, but it's not different.
Katie, over the years, has there been, something about what you've done that keeps you coming back, keeps you wanting to stay in this industry? Again, certain aspects of the work or getting to see finished products and, customers' reactions, what is that one thing that keeps you doing what you do?
That's a great question. I know it sounds silly, but I love the smell of machine shops.
Mhm.
That, and I do like the customers when they come in with the finished product, they're happy. I have had a few that came in, looked at me, said, she's building my engine. Nope, walk away. And then they get theirs done by someone else and it blows up. And then they come crawling back and apologizing. That was kind of funny. That actually
Yeah,
happened twice.
yeah, yeah,
I just love it. I love working with the machines. I pretty much half my life, more than half my life, I've been in it. It's
Mhm.
just it's my family. It's my
Yeah.
thing.
Well, that's great. It's great to hear that you got the passion for it and you enjoy it. And I'm with you on the smell of machine shops. They're,
Yeah.
definitely different than anything else for sure.
Yeah.
Katie, you brought up a couple instances where, maybe some customers, weren't happy about a woman working on their stuff or, whatever the reason might have been. So I did have a question for you about that. Obviously, this is a male-dominated industry, and I'm sure you face a lot of those types of comments or adversity within the industry. Can you
Mhm.
talk a little bit about some of those experiences or just how you rise above it?
It was well, I mean, I was also young. This actually happened when I was at Creason's, and it hurt my feelings, but I was also young and I was just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But you just gotta don't let them people who talk, oh, a woman can't build a motor. That I don't know. It's hard to explain. You just gotta look over past it.
And has it changed for you now that you've been in the industry for as long as you have and have all that experience? Or do you still face customers who just see a woman and, for whatever reason, don't want work being done? Or does the experience now get them over that hump or that obstacle?
I actually haven't heard of anybody since Creason's
Mhm.
that is refused. I think, well, we live in a small town too, and maybe my name's out there. I don't know, but no, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, Katie, like I said, a number of shops were eager to get your talents, so you must be doing something right.
I guess my
Yeah.
friends call me man hands.
That's a good Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
So Katie, again, you mentioned that diesel stuff's still new to you and you've been at LinCo for 2 years.
Mhm.
I've gotten the chance to know Jeff over the last couple of years. Really great guy, super knowledgeable guy. Do you want to elaborate on just, what he's offered to help you with and how he's helped you, learn the diesel side of things?
Yeah, so even putting an engine together in the assembly room, it's so different from gas.
Mhm.
I mean, not as, like grinding rings or the bearing clearances, anything like that. It's like I said, like the injectors, and then it's just very different aspect than Chevys, small block Chevys. There's
Yeah.
a little bit more to it, or stuff that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
Or like the glow plugs, like I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned when when you were just starting out, you were learning the differences between the Cummins and the Duramax and powerstroke stuff. Obviously you know the difference now. So is there a platform that you prefer working on, or are they all fun to work on for you?
Duramax, they're light. Yeah, that Duramax probably. I've been doing a lot of Cummins heads here lately.
Mhm.
Um, they're all the same, but the one I probably like the most is Duramax because it's lighter.
Yeah. Yeah. And Katie, you were earlier mentioning some of the machine work or the machinery and the machine work that you do, but can you talk about some of the specifics of those jobs that you do on the cylinder head and kind of what you're doing day in and day out?
Yeah, so when I start on a cylinder head, I have to check to see if the guide clearance is good. And if it's not, then we have to change guides or put guide liners in it. Next step is, do they have cracks in the seats? And if they do, or most all Cummins heads, we've been just putting new seats in it no matter what because they fall out.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Resurface the cylinder heads, do 3-angle valve jobs. The installed height needs to be perfect. The springs need to be perfect. You got to test all those. And even though they're brand new in a box, doesn't mean they're legit. You have to test every single spring.
Right, right.
Am I missing something? They grinding the valves, stuff like that. O-ringing, fire ringing. That was a new thing. They caught me off guard on that one. So fire ring and O-ring, that is actually very therapeutic for me. I like doing that.
Yeah. Now, do you guys do that in the cylinder head as well as the block, or is it just one surface or the other?
It just depends on what the customer wants. It could be either or.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, there's no lack of things that you can do on a cylinder head, is there? There's
Yeah.
plenty going on.
Yep.
Very good. Now, Katie, are you still a fan of gas engines and cars, or have you started to transition into liking some of the diesel stuff and trucks?
Yeah, I don't know. If you put a small block Chevy in front of me, I love it.
Mhm.
It was actually kind of funny at Creason's. One of my fellow workers made a bet that I couldn't tear down a small block Chevy in under 1 hour. I did it in 50 minutes. He owed me lunch the next day.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I can literally close my eyes and put a small block Chevy together. It's doing it a long time. And
Yeah,
then transitioning to diesels, it's not taking me too much time, but it's different. It's new.
right, right. Very good. So, Katie, you've been doing this for over 15 years now, and you've had a lot of good experience. Are there some moments throughout your career so far that you've been most proud of? I know you mentioned to me that when you were at Creason's, you guys won a Engine Masters Challenge in 2017.
Yep.
So I'm sure that's likely a highlight, but anything else that stands out that you've been a part of over the years that has been cool to be involved with?
Just I'm a small town country girl. I love going to truck pulls, and the motors that we would build for the truck pullers, I just loved watching them go down the track, and
Yeah.
especially the dirt track cars. It was definitely a heart pumping. Come on, make it. But it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's all exciting stuff, especially with, everything's getting, so impressive in the last number of years. Everything's so high performance, and You know, tolerances are super tight and everything's needs to be buttoned up to get that ultimate performance out of everything. So it's all thanks to people like you, and that's great to see.
And I'm actually there's a young lady that came into our shop a couple months ago, and I'm teaching her, and she reminds me a lot like me when I was her age, 18. It's she's very eager to learn, and I'm very happy to be her coach.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, like we said, you know, mentorship is extremely important, especially in an industry like this, where there's so much to learn and so much you need to be able to pick up and do. That's great. So Katie, along those lines, you know, is there some advice for men or women who are looking to get involved in engine building, that you would have, you know, advice that you'd pass on?
Stick with it. You learn stuff every day. Even I still learn stuff when I worked at Creason's. It's fascinating. It's fascinating work.
Absolutely. And speaking of continuing to learn, is there anything, you know, future horizon for you that, you know, you want to get more involved in at LinCo, or just anything else that you're eager to pick up?
Probably more of the building the engine part. Right now, in the last couple of years, I've just been specializing in cylinder heads, which is fine. I love doing it. But I think, you know, I have been boring blocks, and it's awesome. I love my job.
Yeah,
But if I
that's
could
great.
maybe start building the engines, that would be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Jeff wouldn't say no to some extra help. So
Yeah.
very good. Well, Katie, I think that's really all I had for you. So again, unless there was just anything else that you wanted to bring up or something we didn't mention, again, I really do appreciate your time, and I appreciate you joining me for a few minutes.
Yes. Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, Katie, thank you so much. And to everyone watching, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.